but later on he got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and now he is in his Vaishnava song, he is glorifying the Vaishnavas. So we'll read the translation first and then we'll sing this Vaishnava song. First of all, I offer glorification to the feet of all the Vaishnavas of Vrindavan. Next, please.
Praising of all Mahaprabhu's Nilakara associates, Nilachala, I prostrate at their feet.
Next, please.
I pray for loving attachment to the lotus feet of all Mahaprabhu's Navadvip Bhakta.
I offer pranam at the feet of all of Mahaprabhu's Gaudadesh, Bengal devotees.
With upraised arms I pray to the feet of all of Gauranga's Bhaktas, in whichever country they may reside.
France.
Holding a straw between my teeth, I submit at the lotus feet of all the servants of Mahaprabhu, that where or will be.
I have heard their glorification in the Vedas and Puranas, which proclaim that each one of his devotees has the Shakti to deliver entire universe.
Hearing of their glory, I have come with great eagerness to surrender to Mahaprabhu's Bhakta, who are all Patita Pavana for a sinner like me.
What power do I have to glorify them, but out of my ignorance and unmitigating pride, I do so anyway, thinking myself so qualified.
Even though I am dumb and unable to express their greatness, still my heart is joyful due to my great good fortune that the Vaishnavas have accepted me as their own, and Sri Gurudev has given me Harinam, full of blissful pastimes. Forgive the faults of this fallen soul and make me your servant.
They award the perfection of all desires, including freedom from death and even that rarest treasure not found in this world, Prema.
All of one's pure, heartful desires will be fulfilled without delay. Devakinandana Das intensely gave for this glories and praise to the Vaishnavas.
Vrindavan vasi jat Vaishnave ragan, prathame vandana kari sabar charan.
Vrindavan vasi jat Vaishnave ragan, prathame vandana kari sabar charan.
Vrindavan vasi jat Vaishnave ragan, prathame vandana kari sabar charan.
Vrindavan vasi jat Vaishnave ragan,
नीलाचल वासी जत महाप्रभुर गान, भूमिते छोड़िया बंधु सबर चरण।
नीलाचल वासी जत महाप्रभुर गान, भूमिते छोड़िया बंधु सबर चरण।
नवदीप वासी जत महाप्रभुर भक्ता, सबर चरण भक्त भैया अनुरक्ता।
नवदीप वासी जत महाप्रभुर भक्ता, सबर चरण बंद भय अनुराग।
महाप्रभु भक्त जत घोड़ा देश स्थिति, सबर चरण बंधु करिया प्रणाति।
महाप्रभु भक्त जत गोदरेश स्थिति, सबर चरण बंद भय अनुराग।
ये देशे विदेशे बसे गौरांगे रागान, ऊर्ध बाहु करी बंधु सबर चरण।
देशे विदेशे बसे गौरांगे रागान, ऊर्ध बाहु करी बंधु सबर चरण।
हैया छे न हई देन प्रभु जत दास, सबर चरण बंधु संते करी घास।
नाच रहे
श्री निताई सची सुता की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुब्रह्मण्य की सद्गुरु श्रीपाद की हरे कृष्ण। Just to make sure, yesterday we were 6, right?
I don't know. I was not there.
I was not there.
Wait.
Wait. Say yes. Haribo.
Haribo!
So generally in our Srimad Bhagavatam, in the normal routine was we were discussing from 9th canto, but because Nursing Chaturdashi is around the corner, it's on Sunday, so we are discussing from 7th canto. So we recite this shloka. Samyak vidharyatam balo
Samyak vidharyatam balo
Guru gehe dvijatibhi
Guru gehe dvijatibhi
Vishnu pakshe pratichhane
Vishnu pakshe pratichhane
na abhideyatasya dhiryatha Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi
Guru gehe dvijatibhi
Vishnu pakshe pratichhane na abhideyatasya dhiryatha Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiyatha
Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiryatha
Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiryatha
Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiryatha
Samyak vidharyatam balo
Samyak vidharyatam balo
Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiryatha
I didn't see the text. Samyak vidharyatam balo Guru gehe dvijatibhi Vishnu pakshe pratichhane nabhidyatasya dhiryatha
One meaning, Samyak completely.
Vidharyatam
Let him be protected.
Bala
This boy of tender age. Guru Grehe
Guru Grehe
in the Gurukul.
in the Gurukul.
The place where
the place where
children are sent to
children are sent to
be instructed
be instructed
by the Guru.
by the Guru,
Dvijati bhi
Dvijati
by Brahmanas,
by Brahmanas,
Vishnu Pakshe,
Vishnu Pakshe,
who are on the side of Vishnu,
who are on the side of Vishnu,
Pratichannaye,
Pratichannaye,
disguised in different dresses,
disguised in different dresses,
Nabhidyata,
Nabhidyata,
may not be influenced,
may not be influenced,
Asya, of him,
Dhi,
the intelligence,
the intelligence,
Yatha,
Yatha,
so that. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hiranyakashipu advised his assistants, my dear demons, my dear demons, give complete protection to this boy at the Gurukul, where he is instructed, so that his intelligence will not be further influenced by Vaishnavas, who may go there in disguise. It's very fun-filled purport. In our Krishna Consciousness movement, the tactics of dressing oneself like an ordinary karmi is necessary. Because everyone in the demoniac kingdom is against the Vaishnava teachings. Krishna consciousness is not at all to the liking of the demons of the present age. Krishna consciousness is not at all to the liking of the demons of the present age. As soon as they see a Vaishnava dressed in saffron garments with beads on his neck and tilak on his forehead, they are immediately irritated. They criticize the Vaishnavas by sarcastically saying Hare Krishna, and some people also chant Hare Krishna sincerely. In either case, since the Hare Krishna is absolute, whether one chants it jokingly or sincerely, it will have its effect. The Vaishnavas are pleased when the demons chant Hare Krishna, because this shows that the Hare Krishna movement is taking ground. The greater demons like Hiranyakashipu are always prepared to chastise the Vaishnavas. They try to make arrangement so that Vaishnavas will not come to sell their books and preach Krishna consciousness. Thus, what was done by Hiranyakashipu long ago is still being done. This is the way of materialistic life. Demon or materialists do not at all like the advancement of Krishna consciousness, and they try to hinder it in many ways. Yet the preachers of Krishna consciousness must go forward in their Vaishnava dress or any other dress for the purpose of preaching. Chanakya Pandit says that if an honest person deals with a great cheater, it is necessary for him to become a cheater also. Not for the purpose of cheating, but to make his preaching successful. Om Agyan Tamirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaganathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijanasatam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganagata Shri Vishakha Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parachachya Deshatarine. Pangum लगाए थे जत कृपा तदहमन्य श्री गुरु दीन तारणम. Hare Krishna. Welcome to this morning's Bhagavatam class. And before I start, I would like to beg for your mercy so that whatever I'll speak, although I am not intelligent, I don't have any intelligence, just like Devkinandan Thakur was saying in that song, I don't have any Shakti, but by mercy of the Vaishnavas, may I speak something which will give pleasure to all the assembled Vaishnavas and for my own purification. So this is like every parent of a devotee has this fear that be it India or be it anywhere else, that my son is not in good company. That even in India also the parent has always this fear that my son might become a brahmachari. Even if the parents are devotees also, then also they have this fear that my son will. And similarly, this parampara is going on since ages. Like Narad Muni was cursed by Daksh Prajapati when Narad Muni made first 10,000 sons of Daksh Prajapati into brahmacharis. Then, like Daksh Prajapati was right on his part. He was Prajapati. His duty was to have nice population in the universe. So he begetted 10,000 sons, and then he sent them for tapasya, not for enjoying, not for going to Disneyland or somewhere, but he sent them to do austerity so that they can purify themselves and then they can enter Grastha Ashram. Ashram is a big responsibility. So first he ordered them to go and purify yourself and then enter into Grastha Ashram. And here comes Narad Muni, who saw them, such a nice people, nice boys you are. So, so Narad Muni, just preached to them a little bit, and they were all pious, nice boys. So they all decided to join. And Daksh Prajapati become a little angry that I did such a hard work. And this Narad Muni, he made my sons into brahmacharis. So again, he didn't become moros. He again begot 1,000 more sons. First set was called Haryasha, and next set was Salasha. So again, he sent them. So this time he didn't stop them for going to austerity. He knew that he has to follow the dharma, and like before entering the Grastha, he must get pure. The sons must get pure. So he again sent them for the austerity. And again Narad Muni came there, and Narad Muni asked them, what you are doing? Just follow what your elder brothers had did. So they also become brahmachari. So this Daksh Prajapati becomes so angry, and he cursed Narad Muni that you sannyasis, you cannot remain at a place for more than 3 days. So you cannot you cannot situate yourself any place. So in those purports, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that this curse is coming through this lineage to all the sannyasis, all the devotees of Krishna Consciousness, that they will not be able to settle, especially the sannyasis. They have to keep on moving, either by their own choice, or the situation will be like that. The environment will be like that there will be some quarrel, some disturbance, some political influence, that they have to move. So similarly, this type of that fighting between karmi parents and devotees is going on since ages. Today we can also see that at times parents get very angry that what you are doing, can't you become a normal son? At times, one time one of the Srila Prabhupada's early disciples, Brahmanand Prabhu and Garg Muni Prabhu. So if you have read Leelamrita, so the name of Brahmanand Prabhu was Bruce. He was one of the three Valley Street boys. So he joined first, and his mom his mother, who was who got concerned that my son might have joined a cult or something. So he sent his elder son Gargamuni, his name was I guess Gary, to go and and bring back your brother. So he came, he started living with the devotees, he started observing them. It's like, I don't know whether you eat biscuit with tea. Do we eat in French houses biscuit with tea?
With coffee.
Yeah.
With coffee.
Or chocolate.
With milk. Okay. So at times when you dip your biscuit or your cookie in the milk, it got break and it get drawn in that, and then you have to send another biscuit for the rescue mission, and that biscuit also get drawn. So similar strategy was used by the mother of Brahmanand Prabhu to send her elder son Gary to retrieve his younger son. So when Gary spent some days with the mother, and one day he found the mother that Bruce is all right. Don't worry about him. And by the way, I also like this place. I am also moving in. So, Jai Shri Radha Parisisvara Mandir, Jai Shri Krishna. So the mother gets really annoyed this time. So she came. She parked. She parked her car outside the temple. It's 22nd Avenue, and he came in front of Prabhupada, and he showed so much anger that what you did with my sons, you made them like beggars. Now they are not listening to me. So Prabhupada was very gentle with that lady, and Prabhupada asked the devotees to bring a paper, and in that paper Prabhupada draw a line in the middle, and on one side he wrote that, my dear lady, you say that we are crazy, and we say you are crazy. So then Prabhupada noted, jot down the point. She was saying that you are that you don't do job, you beg on the street, you distribute these books, So Prabhupada wrote all her points, and then Prabhupada wrote devotees' point, that why we think that you are crazy, and this is how this great article was made. Who is crazy? So one time, Srila Prabhupada was in Fisher Mansion, like the great mansion that was purchased by. It's in Detroit. It was purchased by. What is the name of this devotee who was in
Harrison?
No.
Harrison
The
Ford.
not Ford. Yes, the Ford. What is the name?
Allison.
Henry.
So,
There is George Harrison and there is Mr. Ford.
one of the Srila Prabhupada disciples who bought this Fisher Mansion in America, in Detroit. It's very famous. So one time it has its own, a small river also going to the property. So one time Prabhupada was doing morning walk near that, and in that river, neighbors also used to draw their boats also. So a neighbor who saw Prabhupada with the devotees, so he was in the middle of the river. So he draw the boat near the bank and come all the way to near Srila Prabhupada and start abusing. That you people, you are losers. You have four cars and you are not doing nothing. You are burden on the society, this and that, and you are eating so nicely, despite all these things. And Srila was just listening, and naturally the disciples were getting angry that how he can say like this. And when he ran out of the steam, so Srila Prabhupada says, so why don't you join us? If we are enjoying so much, so why don't you join us?
Ford is Alfred Bashford, right?
Yes,
Alfred Bashford.
I forget his name. Like
It's
initiated
Alfred
name.
Bashford.
What is his initiated name? Amrish Prabhu. Yes. He gave most of the money there. So similarly here also Hiranyakashipu was very concerned whether his son will become a brahmachari or a devotee also. So one time this Maharaj, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with names. What is the name of Maharaj in London? The young Maharaj? Keshav Maharaj. He was, yes. Swami Bhavan Krishna Maharaj. So he was sharing in his lecture that, his mother told him, can't you be normal? So, this is the problem with Hare Krishna. They can't be normal. So, so here also, Prahlad Maharaj was, now he is preached by Narad Muni. Now this contamination has, gone through. Srila Prabhupada also uses this kind of word. It is a good contamination. Wherever devotees go, they contaminated others with Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of the devotees also. And this lineage is coming through and it is affecting us also. Actually, this is the beauty of knowing about Krishna. If you heard about Krishna, if you know about Krishna, you cannot stop yourself from sharing about Krishna. Preaching is like blood, like when you have air in your stomach, so it came out from your mouth. So as soon as when you fill your belly too much, then this blood will come out, then this air will come out. Similarly, when we hear sufficient about Krishna, when devotees heard so much about Krishna and they keep on hearing out, then naturally they cannot stop themselves from sharing about Krishna. So here also it is happening like that. And especially he's as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that devotees, they can do anything. Like, any principle, anything can be used in the service of Krishna. There is no hard and fast rule. Earlier times, like before the times of His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj, none of there were no sannyasis also, first of all. He was the one who started this sannyas system. Before that, there was Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur took Babaji Vesh. So Babajis do not preach. So they just do their bhajan. Nobody was preaching. He and then Srila Prabhupada made so many revolutionary changes in our movement that many people are still against these ideas. But we know that the principle of Yukta Vairagya, that everything can be used in the service of Krishna. And that cannot be done by our whims, by our whimsical desire. Rather, it should be done under the guidance of a proper authority, proper system. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was the first one who introduced sannyas in our movement. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sannyasi, but after that nobody took sannyas. So he was the first who took sannyas. And he introduced the concept of kurtas also. Before that, if you see the photos of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, he never wear, like earlier photos, he never wear stitched cloth. Like when the men, those devotees who are in the men body, when they go to altar also, they wear unstitched cloth. So it is said that when you wear stitched cloth, it's always a chance of having contamination there. So sannyasis before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj also were not wearing stitched cloth. They used to wear only upper cloth of a sannyasi and dhoti and kopi. So, but it is not very presentable. So to make it more presentable, so that devotees can go up till the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go to the masses. He start not only himself wearing kurta and coat, he asked the brahmacharis and other devotees also to start wearing it. One time what happened, like he invited Viceroy of India to Mayapur, and so people start criticizing that this Viceroy is a meat eater. Why you are inviting him there? Mayapur is such a pious land. You should not invite him there. But he has a greater vision. He has this vision that if the Viceroy will come here, then the British government will be forced to make a new road, a well-built road up till Mayapur, so that more devotees can come there. Before Viceroy came to New Mayapur, it was just a dirt road. Nobody was especially if you've been to West Bengal in rainy season. Anybody been to West Bengal in rainy season? It really rains like
It's pouring.
It's not pouring. It's like I don't know. I don't have words to say. It's almost like a drought situation. every time. And every 8-9 years, there always a flood in Mayapur. Last time it was in 2015 or 16. Just to give an estimate, who has been to Mayapur so far? So that they can visualize it nicely. You've been to Mayapur? No. One day. We'll all go. So Mayapur, in the main altar of Mayapur, where the Panchtattva and there are two different altars, Panchtattva and Shri Radha Madhav, they start by, at least by 5 foot 5 inches. That's the height of the altar, where the altar starts. So you always see the deities like this, with your head raised. And it was all filled with water. There was so much flood, the devotees up till their neck. If you stand in the temple hall, you are up till your neck. The deities of Narsingh Dev was also in the water till neck. So that kind of situation was there, and it happens every 8, 9, 10 years. That kind of a rain, happens there. So, so it was all muddy before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, built that road by inviting Viceroy. So he always has a greater vision. In the times of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, there was only 2 cars in the whole Bengal region. One car that governor had, and the second car that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj had. And what he used to do with that car? Distribute books. He go to villages, he send his brahmacharis and devotees to villages and towns with this car, and people start coming to see this car. And as soon as there will be a big crowd, so what he do? He distribute books there. So similarly here also, Srila Prabhupada did so many changes, rather we should say adjustment, not the changes. These adjustments are required to preach Krishna consciousness more and more. At times, if we cannot wear dhoti kurta in public or the place where we can go, it will be conducive for Krishna consciousness, so we can wear any dress we want. But the principle must be, these are details, the principle must be followed. So the principle is to preach. For saving the higher principle, we can sacrifice the lower principle. The lower principle is dressing, higher principle is preaching. So for preaching we can do like this. But as soon as we come in the association of the devotees, we can have our own attire of dhoti kurta and whatever our Vaishnava attire is. And as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning towards the end of the purport also, that Chanakya Pandit says that if an honest person deals with a great cheater, it is necessary for him to become a cheater also. Not for the purpose of cheating, but to make his preaching successful. And this kind of things Srila Prabhupada did also. One time Srila Prabhupada was with his devotees, and he asked his disciple that, what do you think? A devotee should be clever or innocent? What do you think? A devotee should be clever or innocent?
Innocent.
Clever.
Both.
Srila Prabhupada said clever. Why he should be clever? Srila Prabhupada mentioned that, if I would not be clever, I would not be able to preach to you. Like in the very beginning, when he gave initiation also, he didn't mention those 4 regulative principles and anything. After they took initiation, then he put the notice board that okay, everybody has to follow these 4 regulative principles and everything. He slowly, gradually he introduced those things. But Srila Prabhupada also mentioned elsewhere also that a devotee should be lion at chase and lamb at home. Among the devotees, he must be like lamb, innocent. And with karmis outside, he should be like lion. That whatever they are doing, lion. L-I-O-N. How you say?
Lion.
Lion.
Okay.
Lion at chase and lamb at home. So among the devotees, sorry. Lamb means, the baby sheep. I don't know, it's a young sheep or whatever you say. So, so it should be, rather at times it is opposite. Devotees get so casual with devotees that lion with devotees You should do this, you should do that, and land with with others, right? In other, it should be opposite. Srila Prabhupada also, did like that. At times he did these things with his disciples also. One time he asked Tamal Krishna Maharaj at that Prabhu or Maharaj at that time to actually in Tamal Krishna Maharaj was in Europe, and this Brahmanand Prabhu and Garmuni Prabhu they were in America, and they in the 70s there was the business of incense was flourishing in America. Devotees used to make their own incense, spiritual sky incense, and sell it here. And so Srila Prabhupada asked Tamal Krishna Maharaj that send some of your men to learn this business so that you can do it in Europe also. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj told Prabhupada that I afraid that they will if I send my men, they will these the Brahmanand Maharaj and Garmuni Maharaj, they will get my men, they will keep my men, they will not send them back. So Prabhupada said so how they are your men? If they are your men, they will come back. So Srila Prabhupada used to do these kind of a things, clever. So a devotee has to be clever to preach Krishna consciousness. And also today is a very great festival of Rukmini Dwadashi, who also showed this cleverness by sending a love letter to Krishna. Actually, it was the first love letter in the whole universe, you can say. So we'll read those shlokas only. It took it will take another separate class to discuss, or to elaborate on that that love letter. But we'll just read the translation of that letter, because today is Rukmini Dwadashi. So this first love letter in our universe was written by Rukmini and sent by a Brahmana, carried by a Brahmana to Krishna. And Rukmini was there in Vidarbha, which is in Gujarat. No, there was great distance that she sent and how she heard about Krishna, again Narad Muni. In case of Prahlad Maharaj also, he heard about Krishna through Narad Muni in the womb of his mother. And again Rukmini also, when Narad Muni used to visit her father and sang the glories of Krishna in the courtyard of that king. So Rukmini heard that, and just by hearing the glories of Krishna, actually that is the way. You cannot love Krishna by seeing him. You cannot love Krishna by any other means. You have to hear about Krishna. Actually, in all spheres, whenever we may like a person, his looks or his style or something, but it is not love. It is infatuation. It is temporary. But you really love a person by knowing his or her qualities. Like I'm sure when you are studying, there must be a teacher who you respect, you love till this date also. Isn't it? Why? Teacher or it could be anybody. Generally, it's a teacher. So why you love her or why you love that person? It's not because he was most beautiful or most handsome. No, because of his or her qualities. Similarly, when we get to know about qualities of Krishna, when we hear sufficiently, then only we'll develop love for Krishna. So Rukmini heard so much, and now she had the desire to marry only Krishna. And she's also mentioning in that letter also that you may think that I am a shameless girl who is approaching you with this love letter to marry you. But she also mentioned that what I can do, I'm helpless. I heard so much about you, about your glories, that I now only want to marry you. So we'll read the translation and purport quickly. Sri Rukmini said in her letter, as read by the Brahmana, O beauty of the words, having heard of your qualities, which enter the ears of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty, which fulfills all the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. Rukmini was a king's daughter, courageous and bold, and furthermore, she would rather die than lose Krishna. Considering all this, she wrote a frank, explicit letter begging Krishna to come and take her away. There are 7 shlokas. O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth, and influence. O lion among men. You delight the mind of all mankind. What aristocratic, sober-minded, and marriageable girl of a good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? Therefore, my dear Lord, I have chosen you as my husband and I surrender myself to you. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, let Shishupal never touch the hero's portion like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. She is shamelessly, like she is very boldly, courageously mentioned that I am meant only for you, not for anybody else. Actually, this is she is expressing the heart of a devotee. That yes, Krishna, I am your servant. I am meant to be serve only you. Please bless me so that, please make arrangement, bless me so that I can only serve you rather than serving somebody else. And we can also apply it in our life also, that we have to serve somebody. Like this is the nature of the soul, that either we will serve our senses, our family, our country. Right now, there is a war going on between India and Pakistan, if you hear the news. So all the Indians, even the devotees, they are, this feeling of Indianness coming in them. That we are not, sorry to say, but this is reality. We are not Indians. Like Prabhupada mentions so many times in his lecture, we are not this body, we are spirit, soul. We are not Indian. That we have to do our duty, whichever role we are in, as a man, as a father, as a son, or as a countryman also. But we are not Indians or Americans or any other nationality. First of all, first and foremost, we are the servant of Krishna. So if we do not serve Krishna, like Rukmini Devi is saying, we'll serve somebody else. Okay, the next shloka. If I have sufficiently worshipped, now she is blackmailing Krishna. Devotees do like that. If I have sufficiently worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead by pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, brahmanas and gurus, then may Gadagraja come and take my hand, not the Dhamaghosh son or anyone else. But the Acharya comment as follows on this verse. Rukmini felt that no one could obtain Lord Krishna by the efforts of single lifetime. Therefore, she earnestly pointed out the pious activities she had performed in that life and previous lives, hoping to convince Krishna to come. Oh, Hare Krishna. Krishna also want to listen. Oh, unconquerable one, tomorrow when my marriage ceremony is about to begin, she was daughter of a king also, so she knew what may happen. She not only she gave the desire, she expressed her desire that come and pick me up. What she did, she also gave Krishna the plan how to do it. This is the heart of the devotee. They don't only just wish, but they make plans also. They're just saying that if you fail to plan, that means you're planning to fail. So one must have, if we have some wish or some serious desire to serve Krishna, one must make plans also. So she gave the plan to Krishna also. Tomorrow when my marriage ceremony is about to begin, you should arrive unseen in Vidarbha and surround yourself with the leaders of your army. Then crush the forces of Chaitya and Magadendra and marry me in Rakshasa styles, winning me with your valor. So there are 8 types of marriages in Vedic times. One of them is Rakshasa Vivaha. Rakshasa Vivaha is that when a mighty boy kidnap the broom, kidnap the bride. But it's not just that he has to kidnap the bride and just take her home. He has to prove his valor also in the battlefield by doing so. Purport. As Srila Prabhupada points out in Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, Rukmini, being born of royal blood, certainly had a brilliant grasp of political affairs. She advised Sri Krishna to enter the city alone and unnoticed, and then surround himself with his military commanders so that he could do what was needed. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur compared the coming fight to the Lord's churning of the ocean to extract the goddess Lakshmi. Goddess Rukmini, the goddess of fortune, would be gained in the coming turbulence.
When his father is Bhishmaka, right?
Bhishma.
He's a king.
Yes. And he has 5 sons, Rukmi, Rukmpal, Rukman, like that. Since I will be staying within the inner chambers of the palace, you may wonder, how can I carry you away without killing some of your relatives? But I shall tell you a way. On the day before the marriage, there is a grand procession to honor the royal family deities. And in this procession, the great bride goes outside the city to visit goddess Girija. The clever Rukmini anticipated a possible objection on the part of Sri Krishna. He certainly would not object to subduing the rascal like Shishupal and Jarasandha, but he might be reluctant to injure or kill Rukmini's relatives, some of whom might block his ways to the palace inner sanctum, where the women were protected. The possession to or from the temple of Girija would be provided the perfect opportunity for Krishna to kidnap Rukmini without harming her relatives. Final shloka. O lotus-eyed one, the great souls like Lord Shiva hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penance I will perform. When after hundreds of lifetime of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. The divine Rukmini's extraordinary dedication to Sri Krishna is possible only on the spiritual platform, not on the fragile word of mundane affection. So this is the heart of a devotee. Like he petitioned Krishna, he does not order Krishna. Whatever he desires, he just present it to Krishna and then he says it, whether you accept it or not. Just like in Shishastakam, in the final verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that whether you embrace me or you make me heartbroken. Whether you accept me or not, but you will always be my worshipable deity. So maybe also have, develop this kind of a mood, certainly me, so that we can pray to Krishna in that mood, that Krishna, please, whether you accept me or not, but you are my worshipable deities. So this is all from my side. If anybody has any question, comment, correction.
What was the canto chapter for Rukmini's letter?
10:52, 37. From 37 shloka it starts. 10th chapter, 57. Krishna was in Mathura and Rukmini was in Vidarbha, in present day Gura. It was 1500 kilometers between that. And Krishna completed that journey in the night just by reading this letter. And all the army with Balramji and other, they came later, the next day. Hare Krishna. Jai Krishna ki, Jai Bhakti Mahaprabhu ki, Lord Shri Krishna ki, Rukmini Devi ki. Jai Krishna.
Saparayana Prabhu ki.
Jai.